Hi, I'm Olga, and this is the Olga S. Pérez Show. On today's episode, I'm going to be discussing ways on how you can avoid anxiety. I'm going to give you the FYI, the memo on what you need to know if you want to feel better every day. Whatever the mainstream is doing, that's usually an indication that it's not good for you. We're all individuals. We can't all fit in the cookie cutter, right? So let's get to it. I get it. Cell phones, they're addictive. We know this. It's an issue. Now, apps like, you know what I'm talking about, the Twitters, the Facebooks, you really don't want to be checking in on them every single day. And even if you have a business and that's why you use those platforms, then outsource. If you can, outsource. You're not living and you're not going to be happy, and you're not going to be able to get rid of anxiety and stress if you're plugged into these systems. They're meant for you to be addicted. In a nutshell, to make you miserable. Yep. That's the fact, baby. So you got to really look at what is it really for? What does it really do for you? Ask yourself, am I being a great person by doing this? Is this improving my life? Am I making other people happy? These are all great questions to ask, right? It's a lifestyle change. Especially if you're watching the news all the time, what are you doing? I mean, this is a whole game. You guys know that. You know the game. They're putting everybody against each other. How is that going to make us happy? The solution to everything that's going on always has and always will be unity. Us sticking together. Us being friends, being good neighbors. Good sons and daughters and, siblings, and being a good person. And if you got nothing nice to say, you know that old saying, don't say anything at all. How about that for a concept? Yeah, baby. Like, come on. The challenge here is not who's right or who's wrong. The challenge here is not, what they're telling you to think, because honestly, if you're not taking the time to do your research, like, not to throw some names out there, but let's just say people like, again, I'm always going to tell you that mainstream media is not where you should get your information or facts from, okay? You should already know that. Do your research. And matter of fact, make sure to leave a comment. I want to know your thoughts on this. I want to know your opinion on this. Give me some intel. I'm definitely going to read and rebuttal in the next episode. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow, and leave a comment, leave a review. It really works wonders and makes all the difference, because I want to hear from you. It's whatever you want to talk about. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to give it to you. My perspective, my way. I have been a life strategist for over 20 years. I've also been a teacher, trainer, a lot of things. As we go along in these episodes, I'll give you different stories, not necessarily in a chronological order, but that way you'll get to know me and you'll see where I'm coming from. But honestly, I'm going to call everybody out right now. Everyone out there that's arguing back and forth. I mean, Twitter. Seriously, Twitter? I mean, what's the conversation about? And then people getting canceled and censored. So really, if you're on Twitter and you even love Twitter, hate to break it to you, sweet pea, but are you... hold on. Okay, before I was about to say what I was going to say. Are you really on Twitter because you're defending those that, believe in free speech? Those who are being bullied? Are you one of those? I need to know. Let me know in the comments. But besides that, what are you doing? Everyone's out there saying who's right, who's wrong, or that's messed up. Everyone has an opinion. And it's awesome. It's awesome that we have a voice now that we didn't have years ago, right? Thanks to social media. But again, where's the social responsibility? I'm all about free speech. Absolutely. Don't tell me what to think. Don't tell me what to say either. It's the same. One and the same. You know why? Because I'm free. You know why I'm free? Because I was born free. Who says I wasn't born free? I don't care what country I was born into. Matter of fact, if you really want to know, I actually think I was dropped off. When I was born here, since the day I can remember, I'm like, I don't belong here. Nah, I can't belong with these things, these creatures. I really felt like an alien. And I still do. And I have some truth about that. But I was obviously put here for a reason. So you know what? I'm working it. And I've suffered a lot. I've suffered a lot because most of my life, people just tell me what I should think, how I should act, who I should be. I've been fighting that since I can remember, guys. I got so many stories. I mean, here's one. I was locked up in a convent. Yes. Let me get into that story. I was about 10 years old. My parents are entrepreneurs, and they, at the time, were very successful, and they had a restaurant that was very successful. And my mother, she actually was a teacher to some of these nuns. So she knew them. There was this connection. Also, her closest sister at the time, my aunt, one of her sisters, was living in this town. It was right side of Salamanca, if you're familiar with Spain. And here I was in this convent. I'll give you just a briefing just to wrap up my point on I've been locked up in so many ways, okay? And that didn't shut me up, all right? The nuns were convinced. My mother was convinced that the reason why she put me in there, I mean, obviously it was a joint effort with my parents, but they were convinced I was a masochist. Yes, because I spoke truth, because I said it as I saw it, because I was fearless. That was considered easily labeled masochist. So as you follow me and follow this podcast, I'm going to give you a million examples on I've been against labels and been dealing with the whole label thing since before it became a thing, okay? Before people even called it a label. Because I'm that old. Yes, that's okay. I'm okay with my age. Because you know why? Because I love myself. And you know, see, like I said, I'll go into different stories of what happened to me in the convent. But just to give you a high insight of where I'm coming from, okay? That's just one thing. The other thing is I also had slave labor, unpaid labor working for my parents. Forced labor, might I add. Again, we'll go into more and more of those stories as the episodes come through. Stick around. I'll also make announcements as we go forward on, hey, check out episode number, blah, 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 okay? Just so you know, I'm still in the introductory stage. I'm getting warmed up, trying to get to know you guys. Make sure that you subscribe to create a conversation like no one else is having. I need you to do that. It's you and me, baby. I believe in love. At the end of the day, freedom and love are one and the same. All that is and ever will be, the truth, the energy of all, the only thing you cannot destroy, and the only thing that's actually free is love, baby. You can't buy it and you can't sell it. It's eternal. You can't even delete it. How about that? You can obscure it. You can hide it. You can try to deny it. You can keep people in the dark about it. But there's no talk. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. And if you don't, do your research. Come back to me. Don't forget that our experience, our 3D experience, whatever you tell the mind believes. Whether you're actually experiencing or not, it's all about empowerment. Knowledge is power. That is true power. And that is where true happiness lies, is in knowledge. You know, it's not an easy road to be happy and to live in truth, especially when the majority are against you. Or, you know, it doesn't, even if it's just your small group. No one has ever been happy following the crowd. Nope. Sooner or later it implodes, explodes, implodes. You know, that whole saying, like coming out of the closet. What do you think that is? Yeah, some people do die with the truth with them. Well, I'm here to change that. Especially in the world that we're living in right now, thanks to technology, everyone can lie so much and get away with so many lies. You know, one way to call them out, one way to shift the paradigm is to not pay attention to people like, you know who's been in the news lately? Kristen, Teigen, right? Like, come on, guys. Who out there did not know about her Twitter, about how she was getting turned on with little girls in skirts and stuff like that? Again, I'm not looking at it right now to pull it up. I'll see if I can find it because I know she deleted all that stuff. But if you don't know, look it up. The latest is not how she was bullying somebody on the internet. I mean, even, it's coming out to light now, right? Who did that? Again, with this whole cancel culture thing, which we will also talk a lot about in my episodes. Who are these people? Does anybody even know who came up with this? Usually nobody knows, yet everybody follows. What is this, people? We're just listening to some echo? I want to see your face. I want to know who it is. And guys, for you that are watching and follow me, thank you for being here, my love. But if you know where these places, these comments, these accusations are coming from, please leave it in the comments. Let me know. Reach out to me. I do read them. Your comments are my fuel, and I will respond. So, yeah. So let's get back to this. Why are we having this discussion about, oh, isn't she bad? What she did, what she said. She's not the only person. And how many times have we discussed of people that been in the media, whether they're predominantly celebrities on top of that they get away with a lot. Why? Because they agree with a certain group. And why is the other group not attacking them? Because you know what, guys, let me tell you this. If we got one side already attacking everybody, how is that making us better people, the ones on the other group, the other side, if we're going to separate everybody in two groups? See, I'm not in any group. Let me make that very clear. I am in no group. I don't believe in organizations or institutions. Never have. Since I was a child, I have been saying this. And I haven't changed. You know the only thing that has changed in all my years? Who I really wanted to be. Because like any other human, I was pushed and shoved and turned. You should be this way. You should say it this way. And I would always try to find a way where I could be me and at the same time please people, because I do care about people and wanting to make them happy, because I actually do care. And not care because for my ego or for approval, because it's only logic that if I make you happy, we're all happy. Now, if you don't make me happy, trust me, everybody's going to be miserable if they're around me. But I don't mean to digress. Let me segue back to the whole Kristen and the whole Twitter thing that's going on. The discussion should not be about judging her. The discussion is, why was she praised to begin with? How about that for the discussion? The discussion is, what took so long for this to come out? Again, who is the person that blew the whistle on this? Don't tell me somebody didn't see these texts before. Or, these social media posts, right? Why did it take this long? We already know. Again, this is the perfect opportunity to have that discussion on, you see, even when you're attacking the other side, your own side, when you act like that, it's coming for you, baby. Because what you put out is what you give, and what you get. What you give is what you get. Everybody knows that. You know what I'm talking. Every action has a reaction. That's just basic science. Energetically speaking, even. So how about instead of saying, throwing stones and doing all this witch hunt stuff going on, which I have a background in astrology as well, guys. I do read the charts. Again, you got to look around. I never believed everything that the schools were teaching us. And I went to a lot of private schools. I actually did have a pretty amazing education with a lot of pain. I'll tell you that. It was no fun. This amazing education. I wonder how many people nowadays, how many kids, young adults would be willing to go through what I went through. I will be doing the whole series of the Convent Chronicles. Something like that. I'll keep you posted. I'll make the announcements. Yeah, so there's only one way to be. And if you want to be a good person, is attacking people back being a good person? How about we just say, hey, we don't appreciate you. How about just unfollow them? Either we delete everybody or we let everybody speak, because it's human. We're free. We're free creatures. We were born free. Our fellow humans, our ancestors, the society before us, they set these rules and boundaries. It doesn't make it right. Just because you're accustomed to it and conditioned to it, right? So just bear with me. So what's the difference between thinking it but not saying it? You see? So if we start telling people or punishing people for what they say, then you want us to lie. So then we're all going to live a lie. So we all have to walk on eggshells. Are you kidding me? How is that fun? Seriously, picture it. Picture a bunch of people in a room all agreeing with each other. Now, do you know what I've seen in those groups when those people hang out with the same kind of people with the same kind of mentality, you know what usually happens? And there's like no diversity, no open-mindedness, no core values and morals of just, how about I can be a good person, a loving human being? Who cares who's right or wrong? Who cares this is the way you should talk to me, this is the way you shouldn't talk to me? I'm a good person. But I've been attacked, especially lately. Yeah, especially with politics. And I don't get involved in politics because I know they're full of shit. And anybody who claims that they're super intellectual and they know everything and they watch the news and they study you just told me you're brainwashed, because how can you prove to me that your information is correct? I could tell you that they're all lying and everybody knows that. So then how can you be convinced that you're on the right side of history? The only right side of history you're ever going to be is, was I a good human? And did I live with passion? And did I stand up for my real beliefs without attacking people? Is that possible? Yes. And that's exactly the other reason for this show to be going on, and that will continue to go on. Because as long as somebody's out there, which I'm not hearing anybody make these points. I'm hearing a lot of people making some really good points, loving points, messages of unity and kindness and calling people out. But I don't hear enough solutions. And the solution is really simple. Who do you want to be? And you make it happen every single day. And one day you have, a little regression, no problem. You try an hour later, 5 minutes later, the next day, whatever it takes. It's just like going to the gym. But here's exactly why I am passionate about what I do. Just like people put it in their schedule to go to the gym, just like they show up 3 or 4 times a week, whatever their schedule is, and they know how many reps to go and do, whether they have a personal trainer or on their own, right? Or is it just drinking some kind of, shake, right? Some smoothie. And they stick to it, and then they show everybody the before and after. Because on a physical level, it's actually easier to show, but it's not easy, right? For those of you out there that have been doing that or have been there, done that, or in the process of doing it, it's not necessarily easy. And of course, when it comes to our mind, which is really how we feel good, no matter how much you go to the gym, no matter how much you do yoga, no matter how much physically you try to change your appearance and put all this time and value into it, you're not happy. It never brings happiness. Ever. Again, let me know your thoughts on that, because I have an answer for you. I'm sure I do. And at the very least, let's start the discussion. That's what it's all about. Let's talk. I can guarantee you that the more we talk, you're going to see the world in a whole different way, and you're going to start feeling so amazing. And that's the thing. They don't teach you this in school. And I have done both sides of the fence. And I have over and over proven the system wrong every single time. I want you to start right now thinking about, have I been a good person? Am I a good person? Have I treated somebody kindly today? Think about it. And until next time, much love, many blessings, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the Olga S. Pérez Show. Please subscribe so that you don't miss future episodes.